Good morning, everyone. Again, we're here again today celebrating the Christmas season and sharing Christmas stories as it is leading up to that wonderful day that we celebrate the birth of Jesus on Christmas. Again, I love Christmas stories, and one of my favorite Christmas books, Christmas Stories from the Heart by Alice Gray. I love to share these every year, and I can hardly wait till the season just to be able to share these heartwarming, wonderful stories. And today I want to share with you one written by Dana Donahue entitled Trouble in the End. Trouble in the End. She writes that while he was 9 years old, he was in the second grade, even though he should have been in the fourth. Most people in town knew that he had difficulty in keeping up. He was big, clumsy, slow in movement, and he wasn't the best with keeping up with grades or school or even life. But still, Wally was well liked by all the other children in the school, all of which was smaller than he was. He could go out and play ball with them and play any kind of game in which winning was important to everybody else, but to Wally, winning wasn't all that important. Most often they would find a way to keep him from their team, but Wally was just always hanging around anyway, just hoping that somebody would pick him. He was a very helpful young man. He did a lot of smiling. He was a natural protector. He was an underdog all his life. Sometimes if the older boys would chase some of the younger boys away, it would be Wally that would step up and say, "Can't they stay? They're no bother." And so the play began. There was a large crowd that gathered, a large audience that gathered for that Christmas play. No one on the stage or even off was more caught up in the magic of the night than Wally. Then the time came near that Joseph appeared, slowly, tenderly guiding Mary to the door of the inn. Joseph knocked hard on that wooden door that was on the painted backdrop, and Wally, the innkeeper, was there waiting. So Wally opened the door, and in a gruffest voice that he could muster, he said, "What do you want?" swinging the door open wide. "We seek lodging," said Joseph. Wally looked straight ahead, spoke roughly again, "Seek it elsewhere. The inn is filled." "But sir, we don't have anywhere to go. We've been traveling from afar and we're very weary." Wally looked stern as he could possibly be, continuing to keep that sternness. And he said, "There is no room for you in this inn." "Please, good innkeeper," Joseph said, "this is my wife, Mary. She's heavy with child. She needs a place to rest. Surely you must have just a small corner that we could put her. She is so tired." And for the first time during this entire conversation, the innkeeper, Wally, relaxed his stiff stance and he looked down at Mary. With that, there was a long pause, long enough to make the audience pretty embarrassed. A long pause that made everything tense. "No, be gone," Wally came back to himself. "Be gone." And so he looked as though he was trying to keep that sternness, but something was just melting in him. And so at that, Joseph turned around and placed his arm around Mary, and as we know the story, turned his back to the inn and began to slowly walk away. Disheartened. He was disheartened. He was disappointed, probably devastated. But as they slowly began to make their way, Joseph and Mary, Wally stood in that doorway watching them leave. His mouth was open, his brow creased with concern, his eyes filled unmistakably with tears. Those little tears began to roll down his face, and suddenly this Christmas play took an unexpected turn. It became different from all the other plays that had ever happened before. He said, "Don't go, Joseph," he spoke. "Bring Mary back." His face grew with a bright smile. He said, "You can have my room." It seems that I wish all of us, and we understand that's how the story was. They were refused at the end. But I wish that there would be in this season a lot of Wallies. A lot of people that could just show some kindness in the midst of a harsh world. We're living in 2020, a year that has been there's been so much disrespect. There's been so much devastation that there are people out there that we can help if we just go the extra mile. In this little story, Wally turned everything around and he went the extra mile. God help us to do that. I love you. Merry Christmas to all of